What's that sound? Everybody look what's going down.
So much for that great introduction, for the chant. I always love it. And thanks for coming out here on a very rare rainy day in LA. I want to talk about one specific thing with you guys today. I know we've had a lot of speakers touch on a lot of the different issues when it comes to climate change. I want to bring up something that I think is undeniably true that the mainstream media never talks about. And those are the truths that really drive them crazy. So the fossil fuel industry has privatized the gains and socialized the costs. And I want to ask why we let them do that. Because all the profits from coal, from oil, from fracking goes straight into their pockets. But all the costs are borne by all of us. In terms of climate change, it affects the whole world. So when there is a flood in Bangladesh, and it is greater in intensity, and so many people suffer, whether they are injured, whether they're killed, or whether it's just simply the amount of monetary damage that's done, why did they have to bear that cost? But the people who created that cost in the first place never ever get charged. So what I'm asking people to do is simply based on the market. So conservatives should agree with us. If you created the cost, you should bear the goddamn cost. So what is this? Communism, where you get to privatize the gains but socialize the losses to everybody? I didn't ask for that, and I didn't get any of your profits. You didn't get any of the profits. And so in essence, what they've done is they've created secondhand smoke for the entire planet. And we didn't agree to it, and we don't want their smoke, and we don't want to be killed by it. And I don't think it's too much to ask to say, if you're going to create that kind of problem, you better pay for it. So in TPP, there's a provision. There's a provision that we are most upset about, and again, the mainstream media, the corporate media, can't seem to wrap their minds around it. And they talk about it in simplistic terms like, well, why are you guys against free trade? Isn't trade great for everybody? No, that's not the point. The point is, they've got a provision in there that allows them to override our laws. Well, this is supposed to be a democracy. And what they do is they go to an international tribunal, and by the way, I thought conservatives hated that idea. And they take away our sovereignty. By the way, I thought conservatives hated that idea, right? And they say, if you cost me any of my profits through your environmental laws or your labor laws, I get to sue you because you put costs onto my business. Well, why don't we have a TPP for us? Where we say, hey, if you cost us the entire planet, we get to have some sort of, let's put it politely, okay? We at least need to be paid back for that. So, but yet somehow the politicians who are supposed to represent us can't find that within a range of possible. They find that amazing. Like, what? Like, no. You sit there and you take all the health ramifications. You take all the financial losses. You take all of the well-being that is robbed from you and your family, and we're supposed to sit here and take it. But they get all of the gains, and by the way, they use some of those gains to bribe those same politicians. So I know that my liberal brothers and sisters and my conservative brothers and sisters and my libertarian brothers and sisters hate the corruption. I know it. We all hate it. Over 90% of the country says that money has a corrupting influence on politics. Yes, we know that, right? But here's the part they never talk about. Yeah, we know who the corrupted is. But how about the corruptors? The people who actually gave them the bribes so that they could put all those costs on us. Well, enough is enough. You want to talk about fair trade? Well, I didn't agree to this trade where my kids have to suffer through climate change and the pollution in the air and the pollution in the water, but in return, I get nothing. In return, they keep all the profits. Did you agree to that? No! Would you like some sort of payback? Yes! Would you like that fair trade? Yes! So they're not going to like that kind of talk. They're not going to like that talk because they're going to say, hey, Cenk, Young Turks, you're costing me profits. No, you're costing us the planet. And we're not going to stand for it anymore. So at a bare minimum, what I would like to do, they got TPP, let's do TCC. The True Cost Campaign. Now, hey, they say it's radical if we say, hey, don't take any carbon out of the ground anymore. Don't do the fossil fuels anymore. Okay, then I'm not going to do anything radical. I am going to use the market that you love so much. Bear the goddamn costs. If you're going to create the costs, you bear the costs. The true costs. So that's why it's the True Cost Campaign. Because the cost isn't just in the drilling and the rigs and all of that. The cost is spread across all of us. So the next time there is flooding in Louisiana, okay, oil companies, you pay for that. Next time there's a drought in Texas or a drought in California, fracking companies, oil companies, coal companies, you pay for that. Here in California, it costs us billions of dollars. Well, I know my conservative friends, they don't like that. They don't want the government spending all that money. Well, I got good news for you. It wasn't the government's fault. It wasn't the fault of the people of California. It was the fault of the fossil fuel companies. So you bear that cost. Next time that there is earthquakes in Oklahoma, fracking companies, you bear that cost. So whether it's the hurricanes in Florida, whether it's the storms in Oklahoma or the earthquakes, we need to have the true cost borne by the people who created those costs. It is fundamentally unfair for them to ask you to shoulder the burden and get none of the benefits. And look, that's why I started the Young Turks. Because you're not allowed to say this on TV. When you do, they say that's radical. Wait, which part of this is radical? Okay, we didn't sign up for any of it. We don't get any of the profits. We don't get any of the benefits. All we get is the harm. What part of this is radical? To say the people who created the problem are the ones who should pay for the problem. But they won't let you say it. So I'll leave you on this note. Don't ever listen to them when they tell you not to say something or not to do something. Because the number one thing they want is apathy. They want you to sit at home and do nothing. Don't ever give in to that kind of idea. So you go out there and fight in any way that you can. We do it through the media. We do it through independent media. But you could do it in any way. You could be media yourself. As I see all these people taping it, you be the media. Thank you for mentioning Wolfpack. So do activism. Wolfpack is to get money out of politics. You want to join that? Great, do it. wolf-mac.com. We're going to get the money out. We're going to get an amendment, and we're going to represent the American people. Whether they like it or they don't, we're coming for that. And so, when I see the activism out there in Dakotas, and I see the people trying to protect the sacred, that not only warms my heart, but it gets my juices flowing. Because real change has almost never come from politicians. So now the country is obsessed with who is going to quote unquote lead us. I got news for you. Neither one of them is going to lead us. That's not how it works. You know, when women got the right to vote, you know who was president? No, you don't. I had to look it up. It was Woodrow Wilson. But he didn't do it. He got there dragging and screaming and kicking. He didn't want to do it. We made him do it. And don't let it discourage you. That's what they said to women. They said to the suffragettes, you guys can't even vote. How could you possibly get the right to vote when you can't vote in the first place? It's impossible. And it turns out it was possible. So we're going to get him in the Dakotas. We're going to get him on climate change. We're going to get him on money out of politics. We're going to get all of them on all of that, and we're going to do it just like every generation of Americans has. Not by waiting for some politician to come rescue us, but by doing it ourselves through activism. Thank you.